Before we get started, there's a few things you ought to know. Number one, back to newer episodes on the American Player channel. You guys have to do some catch up on the Give Me Break YouTube channel. The newer ones. Make sure you subscribe to that channel, turn on post notifications for all updates. Also, it's back to school month from July 1st, which is now the 2nd, to August 8th, the very first day of school in Fire Bluff. Now, in some cases in July, it's going to be the first day of school for no school. We'll get to that in just a minute. We'll get to that. But we haven't done COVID in a long time, so let's just catch up on COVID. So right now we're over almost 13,000 new cases, 22 new deaths. 2 new deaths in Nueces County with over 190 new cases. Positives over 13.8%. With positives over 69,000. Over 500,000 tests have been taken. Hospitalization rates 28,178 people hospitalized. Over 3,100 people are in ICU. 75.3 had at least one dose. Fully vaccinated 63.1. And in the U.S., 594 million doses have been given. 222 million people fully vaccinated. 67.4% of the population has been fully vaccinated. The highest number ever is in California, with a lot of doses given. Let's do a little bit of catch up here, and then we'll probably move on from here. Now, if you probably remember, probably sometime this week we focused in on the dress code in our school. We talked about the new ISD will banning all hats and hoods, dresses for people like after the 4th grade. It just made me sick to my stomach hearing that kind of crap. But we will provide you more updates as they go along. So, yeah. And you also remember when, actually we haven't done this. We haven't talked about the tips. So let's just give you a few pointers to start off with. Always make sure you wear your mask, period, at all times. If you're vaccinated, then your oxygenators on. If you're not, you need to wear your mask to keep everyone safe. Hand washing, same thing. Hot water, 110 degrees. Also, you need to make sure that if you're running a plane, then follow the procedures. Bus, subway, same thing. If you have COVID, stay quarantined. Don't leave your house. Stay at the house for a minimum of 5 days. After the 5th day, you need to get tested. If you're tested negative, you're good to go. If not, another 5 days for you. Also, if your child's under 2, no masks. If you're quarantined, you'll only time be able to leave your quarantine areas if you need to go take out the trash or get the mail. If you're under 2, there's no masks. If you have a medical condition, you are exempt from that mask because that would violate the ADA. So that would help. Okay, do you remember sometime this week we focused in on no hats in school? Showed you some clips that really could shed some light on that situation to where everyone would understand. As part of our Give Me Break Back to School month, we are focusing in on dress code. So the basis of the no hats rule is like this: it can hide drugs, it's a distraction in the educational process, and it looks sloppy. And traditionally, hats are not worn in public places, so when you walk into a courthouse, you're asked to remove your hat out of respect. So let's take a look at this.
The basis is started because it can hide drugs, it's improper, and you're indoors.
I believe, in my opinion, that it came as a result of students hiding drugs in their hats once upon a long time ago.
From what I've heard, it stems back to when there was a lot of increased violence in the schools, and kids would wear their hats down really low and wear a hood over them so they couldn't tell who was who. So they banned hats so everyone could be identified.
That's right. And this is where it really came from.
Originally, the hat rule came in place because they did a major change in the discipline policy back in 1998 or 99. And at that time, there was a situation where kids were wearing hoods up over their head, and it signified did one of two things. The first thing it did is it said that the drugstore was open. And the second thing that it did is anytime somebody wanted to see who the kid was, they'd pull the strings down and they'd cover their face so you couldn't tell who they were. So when they went through the process of developing that code, they decided that no hats, no hoods and stuff that blocked the vision of the face could be allowed.
Now, one of the other clips we showed on that week, we've also heard from students to where they say, I should be able to not wear my hat. But the whole reason is it's a distraction to the educational process. You're going to hide drugs and weapons, and it's tradition not one public places. So when you walk into a course, you're asked to remove your hat out of respect. So that's the last clip I wanted to show you because I couldn't even find it anywhere. But now I found it. It was in my recommendations, and I'm glad I found it. Because if it wasn't there, we wouldn't be able to talk about this or give you guys a little update here. So that's an updated version of the dress code policy at school. Coming up next, our back to school month begins with a lot of safety in our schools. I probably got a notification from Caller Times about a live meeting that happened about safety in our schools. This comes after we'll do that later. But first, when we come back, athletics is a privilege, not a right. 3 students who participated in extracurricular activities in athletics, cheerleading and band. We'll hear from those 3 students and what discipline is when we return. We'll give you the latest on Uvalde in just a few minutes. Up front tonight, athletics is a privilege, not your right. For 5 years on the show, I have focused in on athletics, how it's a privilege, not your right. And that is all thanks to a law called the No Pass, No Play. Basically, it's a policy to where if you don't pass your classes, you can't attend athletics. A lot of other times, it's basically to where if you do something you're not supposed to be doing, they could take away your privilege of attending athletics. Like there's baseball, basketball, football, cheerleading. Tonight, I want to introduce you to 3 students who are in extracurricular activities such as cheerleading and band. One who threw a binder, one who didn't want to get his hair cut, and the other who made out with a student in the girls' bathroom. I'd say ladies first. So, as they say, ladies first. Let's start with Armed and Dangerous. Jamaica is a student at Kama High School who had a referral for throwing a binder in the class. Let's watch.
I've got a sophomore girl who just got upset with another student and threw something at his face. We got a referral here that you're throwing a binder in class?
Yeah. It really wasn't a big deal, Mr. Hamilton.
You can't be throwing stuff in class.
It's not a big binder. It's not. It just, look at this. It's not that big.
Jamaica, it is a big binder, and definitely could have hurt him.
I wasn't really throwing it. It was just here. It's from not even that far away.
Okay, let's stop there for a minute. You say you weren't really throwing it, okay? So how can you say you almost didn't throw it? You got... That's almost throwing it. That's like you're hitting someone. So you're almost throwing it. You're kind of like that. You're almost hitting that person.
Like me to you. Not even me to you. Like, way closer.
Where was he sitting? Across from you?
Front.
1 seat ahead of you?
No, 2.
2 seats. So you zing it up past another student and then hits him?
Yeah.
If you look at the policy here for assault, it's going to be out of school suspension.
Out of school suspension?
Could be.
The Charms don't have a game tonight. Cheerleading is really important to me. I mean, I have a huge game tonight, and if I can't cheer, I'm letting down my whole squad.
You can't be throwing stuff in class, I mean, especially binders. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go half a day of in-school suspension, and I'm going to take the cheer away this evening.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
If it hits him just right, all of a sudden he's off to the emergency room, and then we're having a whole different conversation here. Don't let it happen again. Thank you. Cheerleaders are athletes and are really held to a very high standard, and they're supposed to have a very positive influence within our student body, and that greatly disappointed me.
It also disappointed me too. But the bottom line is, like I commented before, all extracurricular activities are a privilege, not your right. And you may think cheerleading is important to you. It's not. It is a privilege. You have to earn it. And with spoiled and entitled kids, they have to learn that all those things are privileges. That's commando parenting. What your child needs is as the laws of the state, you're required to have them a warm, dry, stable environment, nutrition, educational, medical, and finances. What your child needs is a room with a bed, a pillow, and a blanket. That's it. No Xboxes, no computers, no cell phones, no iPads, no TVs, posters, none of that. Those are all privileges. And if your child wants those things, they have to earn it a step at a time. That's the same thing with athletics. They have to earn that privilege. So, let's introduce you next to Donnie. He's in the school band. Or was in the school because he graduated anyway. So, his teacher, his English teacher, he got a haircut, but he didn't want to do it. So what happened next? Watch.
Take a leg, let's go. Come in, Donnie. Why do you think you were removed from English, bud?
My English teacher thinks my hair's out of dress code. I don't think it is. I think it's just in style. And I think I look good with it. So I'm trying to impress the ladies, you know.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
If Coach Lamb wants me to cut my hair, it ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna put up with that.
Your hair cannot extend below
the
your
top
eyebrows. It can't be below the earlobe.
That's the side.
Okay. If you had on a collared shirt, it cannot touch the collar.
I don't believe mine does that, sir.
Yours is touching your collar even without that, and all you have on is a t-shirt.
It's just because I'm sitting down. If I was standing up, it wouldn't be touching my collar.
Oh, okay, stand up just a minute. Yes, it would. Thank you. Sit down.
I think Coach Lamb is jealous of me and my hair. I mean, because he's old and bald, and I have long, luscious hair. I don't think the policy is fair because, like, what does hair do? Is it's just there on your head sitting. It's not like it's hurting anybody.
Your opinion is no consequence to me. You are breaking the rules, and if you continue to break the rules, you will be removed from this school. You control this situation. You can end this within 5 minutes.
I don't want to be kicked out of school just for a haircut, sir, but I really do not want to get my hair cut.
So are you sure you want to go down this path?
It just doesn't make sense to me. My hair ain't hurting anybody. I could understand if it was spiked out and hard and everything and I ran into people and stabbed them. But my hair is just soft. People like it.
Donnie, tell me this. Are you participating in your extracurricular activities?
Yes, sir. I'm in the band.
In the band. Excellent. How important is being in the band to you, Donnie?
I love the band. That's why I come to school every day. I mean, I don't come here to learn. I come here to be in the band. I've been in the band since 6th grade. I mean, it's like my life, and I really love it.
Okay, I'm going to make it easy for you. Donnie, okay. Do you want to go with the band and perform this weekend at the state competition?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, now here's what we're going to do. We have a teacher here at school that's a licensed beautician, she can cut your hair and get you in code that quick.
What if she messes it up?
Well, we're just gonna get you to code, Donnie. So there's no question that you'll be going on this band trip, okay? All right. After speaking with Donnie, he's made the right choice. He's going to get his hair cut by one of our faculty members, and I'll be monitoring that.
Hold your head up straight, because you don't want me to cut your eyebrows off.
Now, Donnie, after this haircut, you're gonna look pretty much like me, bud. You're gonna look good.
That makes me feel a lot better, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm really proud of Donnie, and I expect him to take care of this in the future before it gets to this point, and I believe Donnie will. Donnie's that kind of a young man. Really good. Looking really good, Donnie.
Thank you, sir.
Attaboy.
Once my band competition's over this weekend, I'm going to let my hair slide back out of dress code. I mean, because I like my long, shaggy hair, and so do the ladies. They like the luscious locks.
And it doesn't matter. If it's out of dress code, it's out of dress code. That's the bottom line. When we come back, a student who was sent to the office just for making out, but he's in the band. What will his punishment be? Please don't go away. Now for an update in Uvalde. The state of Texas Now to an update on Uvalde, like we've been telling you about. Just yesterday, just 2 days ago, nobody was giving us any answers. Uvalde families demand details of the shooting investigation at the city council meeting. On Thursday, there was a city council meeting for the Robin Elementary School shooting victims that demanded that the mayor release details from the investigation. Don McLaughlin told him he didn't have any new information to say he's not sharing anything in public because of the ongoing investigation. The mother of the daughter who survived the shooting also made a plea to state leaders who have details of the investigation haven't shared them with the community. Burrows he believes witnesses could get more candid testimony away from the public eye. The meeting came as State House Committee came on the second straight day of private interviews for State Representative Dustin Burrows. But we'll keep you posted. There's nothing new on Oxford except for the gunshot that is named in that lawsuit. So we'll keep you posted. Ethan Crumley's trial is going to be sometime in October. The parents are going to be held in January. We'll keep you posted on what's going on from latest news articles. Give Me Breaks Back to School Month continues in just a moment. Our next suspended or removal from the band student comes from John Marshall High School with Mr. Harris as the principal. Now, this student's name was Bryce, and if you were at John Marshall High School at that time, you may have heard, or if you've seen an episode, you may have heard of him. He made out with a student in the girls' bathroom. Now you're all gasping here. Now, this was probably during the game. In the bathroom. But what does he have to say about this? And what was his punishment?
Last Friday at the football game, a parent came to me and identified Bryce as a student that he saw in the boys' bathroom with a young lady, and they were making out, kissing.
You wanted to talk to me?
Mm-hmm. What I've been looking to talk about is the Alba football game last Friday.
What about it?
I had a parent come to me and identified you and another student, the young lady, being in the men's bathroom kissing.
I see that. Well, I was with the band during the game. I would never do anything to jeopardize being in the band. I mean, I really like it. It gets me through the day. It gets me through school, and it makes it fun.
Well, let me read something to you, and then I want you to respond to it and tell me what you think. What Bryce does not know is that I have a written confession from the young lady that he was making out with in the bathroom. I admit we were kissing, but nothing else happened. I will accept my punishment because I wasn't supposed to be in the boys' bathroom.
She's dreaming.
So she's dreaming and the parents dreaming too.
Have you seen her? I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I would not kiss on her.
So the parent just misidentified you.
I think there's a case of mistaken identity because it wasn't me in the bathroom, and people would get mistaken every day for another person.
You have a band uniform on, so that narrows the number down even further.
It's very easy to get me confused with other band members because we all wear the same uniform.
All I'm saying is it wasn't me, and it possibly could have been somebody else.
Bryce, I clearly know how the drum line is situated. You definitely don't look like Smurf. You definitely don't look like Quentin. You definitely don't look like Chase. And you definitely don't look like Larry.
Right. I mean, there's no reason for me to lie.
So that's your story and you're sticking to it. Okay. Well, in the face of all of the evidence, my story is that this young lady is telling the truth. Parent is telling the truth. So who's gonna win that battle?
Not me.
The consequence is going to be that I'm just going to remove you from the band indefinitely. Now, if you will head to fourth period, I'm going to let you move on with your day, and I've got some other things I need to do. I like Bryce a lot. He just needs to take ownership for what he did.
So, let's review these 3 cases. Jamaica, ISS, half a day, not allowed to cheer. Donnie, out of dress code, was allowed to go to the band. It was not taken away. Finally, Bryce made out in the girls' bathroom. He said he didn't do it, but the evidence is pointed right there at that confession letter. If he had confessed to what had happened, had he confessed and said, yes, it was me, it was me, I was the one that did it, then it would be a whole other story. That would be a whole other story. Well, okay, that's all we have for the rights and privileges of the athletics. Probably sometime we will, we already talked about OSS and ISS on a separate one, regular show, but I want to focus more on this because for 5 years, I've been talking about OSS and ISS. The difference between the two is OSS out of school suspension, meaning you're out of school. You cannot attend school while you're being suspended. Now, the other difference, now ISS, you're sitting in the room and you're doing your work. Or what Coach Lamb calls on-campus suspension. So that's basically the whole difference here. I just want to shorten that out because we've already talked about this. Now, I want to focus more on school safety because there's two things that schools need. Number one, it needs safety, and number two, it's discipline. Now, if you watch that live stream on Colin.com about school safety, they talked to Texas educators all about school safety. This is what they said. Let me just move my tape table here. Could take a few seconds. So, here is what the Collin Times has said. To improve safety, schools need funding, community support, and strong relationships with students. South Texas Schools Stewardship. The panel was viewed on the Collin Times or the Collin Times Facebook page. The panelists were Grisela Reynolds Perez, the superintendent of Kingsville ISD. Ingles ISD was school board president from Darisa Flores. Julio Ruse was the deputy superintendent of Alice ISD, Nancy Vetta, the president of the TC American Federation of Teachers, Tyler Korbinski, a teacher at Veterans Memorial High School. This is what the superintendent came about us saying. I think we all see ourselves in that situation as it's a possibility. And we have to be on our guard, and we have to raise standard on safety. Agreed. Okay. And as Vera said, that anger that I have right now, which is good anger, means that I think as educators, we need to correctly take a stand. As educators, and as parents, as a community, we must do better. I agree. The school board president, counselors, play a very important role, not only in the times of an event, but before, during, and after those events, and being a reliable resource for mental health issues. That's exactly right. School counselors are always there for you. And I hate when it's just ignored. Period. But school safety is very important. After that shooting, a lot of schools went into safety. So the 4 safe school elements. It's a framework for safe and accessible schools. A 16-page document from NASP. It's the executive summary of what happened. 16 pages. Even a pyramid from mitigation and prevention, preparedness, response, and recovery. Then it goes all the way around. Universal, targeted, and intensive. Then you got the pyramid, the continuum of school mental health services. Exactly. So, but how can we improve safety of our school? Here are 15 ways to improve your school's safety from vigilanttiger.com. Let's look at those 15 ways to improve the safety. Number 1, you have to secure the perimeter. Parents, carpool drivers, and buses require designated student loading and unloading zones. Post signs and communicate policies that prohibit unauthorized vehicles in areas. Number 2, light your school's exterior. Set programmable lights to turn on simultaneously each evening when after-school activities may still be taking place. Motor sensors automatically turn on and help prevent. Okay, that could be a waste of money, but if I suggest that for the probably not going to enjoy it. Limit and monitor access points. Schools that need more than one use lunch for students and staff could post signs redirecting visitors to main entrance. Techniques and protocols streamline the monitoring process so you can keep better track of who enters the premises. Ensure areas remain locked. Implement key control systems. Manage visitor access. Train your security officers to look for strangers without the necessary badge or identification. Escort guests to their destination once they've signed and known a visitor badge. Promotes community partnerships. Monitor your school's interior. Enhance classroom safety. Two-way communications like walkie-talkies. Prioritize digital safety. Update electronic security equipment. Hire professional school security guards. Or have your own police station like Dr. Freeman did 2 years ago. Develop instant reporting procedures. Conduct threat and risk assessment. And review your emergency protocols. So the question is, why should schools have security guards? There's 7 reasons. Number 1, meeting attention to emergencies. Number 2, fewer incidents of violence. Number 3, reduced bullying and fighting. Increased observation of students. Guidance for parents and staff. And expert monitoring for all access points. But there is the list, there is safety recommendations. And this 5-page from the Texas Education Agency says otherwise. School districts should reevaluate access control and visitor management policies and procedures for all facilities. School districts should improve all stakeholders who situationally aware and to report suspicious activity. School districts must coordinate and collaborate with law enforcement and other first responders to develop strong school safety programs. Exactly. School districts should explore all alternatives to additional protective measures for students and staff. School districts should establish and utilize behavioral threat assessment terms to identify students that pose threat to either themselves or others, providing appropriate interventions. School districts should thoroughly and continuously review, revise, and maintain all multi-hazard emergency operation plans. School districts should conduct safety and security assessments for all facilities in an effort to identify areas for intermediate and long-term improvement. Texas Education Code 37.108. School districts should ensure safety and security committees be regularly have an active, ongoing role in maintaining security and safety. School districts should adopt the standard response protocol and standard reunification method as protective measures can be incorporated into their multi-hazard emergency operations plan. And school districts should review the Texas school safety and security standards and compare their current safety emergency management programs to these mandates best practices for school safety and security. Now, this was from 2018-2019. This 44-page for the school firearm actual safety plan is couldn't evaluate. I mean, if you'd like to learn more about how you can keep your school safe, or how to protect your students, how to make sure your students are safe, I'll have this on newsletters. Visit the Give Me a Break newsletter at givemeabreak.substack.com. You will also find tips for parents on how to make sure your kids come home to school safely. Well, that's a different one, but you also find tips for teachers on how to make sure their students are safe in your classroom, and some helpful tips from teachers on what they can do if they see a violent student in their classroom. Coming tomorrow, which is today, Give Me a Break Saturday, more of our back to school month. This time, it's all about the dress code. Like I said, this month is going to be all about what you need to be prepared for, like dress code, bullying. And speaking of bullying, before I sign off, I want to share with you a post from a member of the Stop Bullying Speak Up group that I created 2 years ago during the pandemic. Before the pandemic. We have 33 new members. If you want to join, we'll have the link in the description below. The top 5 wake-up calls for students and bullies. So I really want to thank Hey Ugly, you need to get to the Lovable You, because they're an organization that really helps. And we'll also talk about the bullies on Saturday from our Stop Bullying Speak Up page. If you would like to know how to stop bullying, you can visit the Give Me a Break newsletter again at givemeabreak.substack.com. If you would like to join your organization, you can visit their website. We'll have that link in the description below. It helps support. You will also, if you join, you can tell your story. So as for tomorrow, today we'll talk about dress code and the top 5 wake-up calls for all bullies. That's on Give Me a Break Saturday. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday. Going to Saturday, we'll see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night. And for all of us here at YouTube. Oh, and I should point out, Lisa did not respond to my text, so if it happens, I'll let you know. For all of us here at Give Me a Break and YouTube, stay safe out there. Good night, everyone.